Hi, everybody. Okay, we're working out a few kinks right now, trying to make sure that we're doing good. Maybe somebody could get some headphones so that we could hear. Awesome. Perfect. So we've got some producers here, so we better introduce them first. So Crystal, our registrar, is going to be on our chat, so as well as Jackie from our island camp, Fox Landing, and then we've got producer Patrick, and we are very thankful for producer Patrick. We are so excited to talk to you today, and we're kind of doing a new setup this time. So we're in the office, the business office of Guided Discoveries.
It's our first time here.
I know, it's very exciting. It's a beautiful place, and we've got our display on the back in the TV. Now, we've recognized when we were doing our little test that you might have a hard time seeing all of the specifics on that slide. So we're going to be making sure that we're sharing the slides that we're going through, but a lot is Josh and I are going to talk. And we're going to tell you everything that we're going to do. We are wearing our Aloha shirts, our Hawaiian shirts in representation. We wear Hawaiian shirts on Departure Day, which is a fun tradition that we have at camp. So we are very excited for today. So, Guided Discoveries. We at camp, AstroCamp is part of a larger organization. And Guided Discoveries kind of is our nonprofit that has outdoor education and summer camps. And our mission, and we want to make sure you know our mission and make sure that you know that this is the guiding point for us. So we make a positive difference in the lives of children by guiding them through unique opportunities of discovery. What are some of those opportunities, Josh?
Oh, it depends. If you come up to AstroCamp, you get to see things like the moon through a wonderful telescope. If you go out to the island, you get to see different species under the water while snorkeling. And so many more things. Overcoming different personal obstacles, learning different aspects of science, and just making all kinds of wonderful connections and lifelong memories.
Excellent. A lot of people don't know that we're connected, but we are, and there's a lot of similarities in our programs. So today, we're going to talk about the team. We're going to talk about preparing for camp. We are going to talk about arrival day and during camp, and then we'll have some Q&A. So throw in things in the chat. Feel free. We've got our excellent producers, assistants that are going to be responding as much as they can, and then they'll take notes for things that we can't. We gotta scoot over. And for things that we can't, we will do a Q&A at the end. So look at us.
Those are great photos.
Those are great photos. We look so professional, Josh.
Right?
I know. Josh, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Joshua Jasper. I am the program director at AstroCamp. I'm basically over everything that the campers do when they come to camp.
All right, and I am the summer camp director. My name is Diana. You're getting lots of emails from me. You'll be getting even more emails from me. And I kind of oversee the summer program. So working with families, working with campers, and overseeing our counseling staff at camp. So the social and emotional well-being rests on my shoulders. That's a lot. That's too much. All right. Josh, talk about our staff.
Oh, we have a wonderful and pretty huge staff. We have roughly 32 instructing staff members. So these are the people that are going to be running the different classes and activities. And we have about 30 counselors that are going to also be directly caring for the campers. And we work together to make sure that everyone has a safe, a positive, and a wonderful, memorable experience while we're at camp. Our staff comes from all over, not only the country, not only the state, but even the world. We have some international staff that are coming, and a lot of our staff are, honestly, returning campers. And so they have they are very well versed in everything AstroCamp.
All right. So let's talk about preparing for camp. And this might be a little bit harder for you to see, but I'm going to encourage you to go to our website, astrocamp.org, and you are going to go to the summer camp section. You go to the drop down, you'll see preparing for camp on the enrolled families side. In there, you're going to be able to find the parent guide. You're going to see the packing list. You're going to see a lot of travel details. You'll have a link to how you get into our companion app, which we'll talk about more. But that is your main resource in preparing for camp. It's on our website. It's very easy. We are going to talk about forms. It's our parents' favorite thing. Preparing for summer camp is all of our forms. We definitely recognize that it is an effort to get all of your forms in. And if you haven't, we encourage you, we really need those before your child arrives to camp in a good amount of time. So as like our deadline was May 1st, we'd love for you to get those in as soon as possible, at least 3 weeks before your camper arrives. So we have time to review those. You are going to find those on the website in your account. So if you go to the parent login, you log in that information, you're going to be able to go to forms and documents and you'll see the list there. Some of them require like signatures. You can upload that back in from our companion app, or you can upload those into our system on a web browser. So that parent portal is incredibly important. So there's a couple things, and I'm really hoping that you'll be able to see it here. But on the very top, that's where your forms dashboard is. Then you have different sections. And another important component is the camp store. So we sell things on our camp store. We have an online store. A lot of that is our school year products. In the summer, we're going to have things specifically on site for the summer. Those like our sweatshirts, t-shirts, water bottles, frisbees, postcards, little plushies that are so cute. I know. Hats, pajamas, lots of different things. And so we don't take any cash, no money. Everything is funded through your camp store account. So as a parent, you can log into the portal, you can fund that account. You can also track what your child is getting. So if they're only buying astronaut ice cream, then you can see that. The other important component is at the very bottom of your forms portal is the online community where you do emails, you can see photos, you can add guest accounts. So I get a lot of emails. I would like to add aunt, uncle, grandparent, any, friend, school friends, things like that to the account. You can add guest accounts where they can then send photos or see photos and send emails to the campers. We'll talk a little bit more about what like those bunk notes emails look like, but that's your kind of main portal that we're going for. How are you doing, Josh?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Okay, here we go. Probably not going to be able to see everything on there, but that's okay because we're going to walk through. And the important to note for parents, a lot of this information is in your parent guide. So if you're looking for a follow-up, going and getting that parent guide, you can find it in your forms or you can find it on our website. Everybody wonders what to pack. What to pack. So one of the biggest things is we do have a packing list. We have some recommendations of what to bring. You don't want to bring too much. We do want to make sure that you are aware that like our 1-weekers are not going to have access to any laundry services to like do additional laundry. So in those 1-week programs, that's 1 weeks and Geek weeks, we are not doing a laundry service. So you need to make sure that you have enough underwear and socks for a whole week. And more. If there is any accidents, I know that we've got really dirty clothes or we might have a variety of different accidents that might happen. and we need to clean those items, bedding or clothing. We do have washers and dryers on camp, but we're not able to do a routine laundry. Bedding. We get questions about bedding a lot. So our facility used to be a boarding school. So it has kind of dormitory style layouts, and every room will have, it depends, 2 to 3 bunk beds in that room. And those are twin sized mattresses. So if you're here for a 1 week, a sleeping bag is totally fine. Yeah. If you might be wanting a little bit more, a sheet, a twin sheet is going to be totally sufficient for that. We encourage a flashlight. It's dark at camp.
Yeah.
It can get dark at camp. So a flashlight, we do have, we have to be careful about our flashlights when we're doing space nights. That's not a time for flashlights because that takes away being able, the night vision. It can be cold at night and hot during the day. So people ask what should we bring? Make sure we have a jacket that we can wear at night. We need to have long pants. When you're doing activities like welding, blacksmithing, those need to have
long pants.
Long pants that are not just like sweatpants. They need to be denim-based pants.
Match them.
Yes, please.
Another thing you'll definitely be required for some classes, specifically blacksmithing, welding, and any of the ropes courses when it comes to shoes. A lot of people are going to want to wear sandals. It's going to be warm out during the day, but you will need closed-toed shoes for a wide range of our programming.
Yeah, so make sure that you bring those closed-toed shoes. And then things not to bring. We don't need our cell phones. We're out in nature. We're disconnecting so that we can all reconnect with each other. And so we don't need to bring our cell phones. If you are traveling and need to have your cell phone for airport, that sort of thing, you can check that in. We have that part of the arrival day process. But we are technology free, no electronics. If you want to bring a camera, that's great. We also don't allow any food or candy. So no items from home. We don't want critters in our dorms. That is a super important part. And there will be plenty of food for you, snacks, and different items at events and mealtime that you'll be able to eat. So we don't need to be bringing any of that because that will just bring critters into our dormitories. Parents, I'm pleading, please label everything as much as you can, even down to those socks, because we end up with one sock, sometimes even one shoe, which I'm not sure how that happens. Falls out of the bag, that sort of thing. So please label everything. We can get back to you things that are labeled. It's very difficult for us to get back things that are not labeled. So as much as you can, that would be really helpful. Traveling to and from camp. So this is arrival day, departure day. We have 3 different options. You can fly in, you can bus in, or you can drive to camp. So a lot of these details are on our website and in our parent guide. So if you're worried that you can't see the specific time frames, all of that is communicated to you in the transportation form and in the parent guide and on our website. But the important component is if you are flying into camp, you're flying into the Ontario airport. If your camper is a minor, they will be met at the gate. And on departure day, they will be delivered to the gate. You will need to provide some information to the airline, and so we will be working with those families that are flying in to provide who's going to be the staff member that's going to meet them at the gate. All of our staff that are coming in to help support our airport pickup are going to be wearing AstroCamp shirts, so it's very clear who they are. They will have their IDs with them. They will have their name badges, so it's very clear. If your camper is not a minor, they will meet them at baggage claim. And it'll be very clear who that person is. If you are wanting to do bus transportation, now that is open to anybody that would like to sign up for that, and you can do that through our website. On bus transportation, you're going to pick them up at the Ontario Airport cell phone lot. So you're going to drop them off there and you're going to pick them up. We will update families with text messages on arrival and departure information, and like if we're running a little bit late on departure and when to expect. But we have a lot of kids that utilize that, and it's a really wonderful service for families that just maybe don't want to drive all the way up. We have a lot of families that do it just one way. So they drop their kids off at camp, and then maybe on departure day, they meet them down the mountain at the Ontario Airport. And that's a really great service. And you can continue to add that on, and we'll be sending more details about that as we get closer to the summer. Driving to camp. So a lot of families like to drive and drop off. So check-in is between 1 and 3 p.m. We recommend that the camper eat lunch before drop-off. We do not have a lunch service during that time. And they'll be having our welcome barbecue at about 5:45. So if they haven't had lunch, that's quite a long time to eat. So we encourage eating lunch before you drop off. And then we ask that you please don't arrive before 1 p.m. The town of Idlewild is only how far away?
It's just down the hill, literally.
Down the hill, like 3 minutes away. It's a wonderful stop if you're a little early. I know some people like to beat traffic. Why we can't have people arrive before 1 o'clock is because we're preparing. We have a whole setup that we have for where we place our staff, how we do our check-in. And if we arrive before 1 o'clock, that can be really difficult for our team as we're trying to get going on things. So we ask that you please stay in town, grab a coffee, walk around, see the mayor, which is a dog.
Yeah.
Mayor Max. The third. Oh, so cute. And his little deputies that are so adorable as well. And then our checkout on departure day is between 9 and 11 a.m. We really ask that you please bring a photo ID so that we can confirm who that is. And we won't be releasing people unless they are on the release list and have their photo ID. So this is our security. We want to make sure we're providing the most safe environment for your child. And so that's one of our requirements. Also, we really do ask that you try and pick up by 11 a.m. Our staff have very limited amount of time off, and the later that goes, the harder it is for them to have that amount of time off. So we thank you for that. All right, Josh, here's your time. We're going to talk about camp and the schedule, and then we'll run in and talk about food and dorms and homesickness. Who to ask camp, who do campers ask for help, and what if my campers get sick or hurt, and how do parents and campers stay in touch. So we got a lot of information. I'm going to pause and check in with my producers and see how we're doing. Are we doing okay, Patrick? Okay, excellent. All right, Josh, let's talk about the typical day.
So the typical day at camp, your campers are going to wake up around 7. You're going to get ready, brush your teeth, wash your face, get ready for the day. You know, some people, it's summer. The school routine is still a little bit there. We're going to not deviate too far from it. Really just going to add to it. So we're going to have breakfast around 8 o'clock. And then program starts at 9. So there will be 2 blocks, and we'll get into a bit more of that later. But there will be program blocks in the morning. You will have lunch at about 12:30. At 1 o'clock is kind of the heat of the day. We have a siesta time where we allow the campers to kind of like just hang out in the dorms with each other, play, and kind of just be out of the sun. Also, just give everyone a rest for the day. Then program will pick back up at 2 o'clock, and it will run until dinner, which will be at 6. We will have some dorm time, kind of like in between there, at about 5:15.
Yeah, transition time.
Yeah.
5:15, 5:30, so they can get ready for dinner.
Post dinner, we'll have rec time where they can just roam camp. We will have supervision. Don't worry, but they can roam camp and go to various different areas, do different things, and then we will have like our evening programs and then our night programs, and then lights out is at 10. So the night programs kind of vary between sessions or between events. They're typically in somewhere between 9 and 9:30, but there are a couple that will go a little bit closer to 10. But we will have the campers in the dorms and in the bed at a decent time, so they will get plenty of sleep.
All right. Excellent. So let's talk about 1 weeks.
All right.
So we've got our 1 weeks, and these are ages 8 to 13. And we do these in June. So the first 2 sessions in June are our 1 week sessions. So you probably have seen this in the parent guide. You've seen this on our website. This is our schedule of events. It is quite overwhelming.
Yeah.
Josh?
Sorry about that.
Yeah. We got a lot to do at camp, and that's the best part, is we've got lots of fun things for them to do, and it keeps the day incredibly active. So, Josh, can you talk a little bit about the differences between core activities and electives?
Yes. So, for the 1 weeks, our 8 and 9-year-olds, they are going to be doing what we call core activities. We have a preset schedule for them. They're essentially our core classes. We're going to run them through our very popular science-based classes. It's very hands-on, it's very engaging, and a few different other things that we just kind of generally run at AstroCamp, so that they have things that they'll be doing with their groups. They're going to be learning a few things, but they're also going to have a lot of fun. Now, these are things for the B's and the C's, so our 10, 11, and 12, 13-year-olds, they will have a list of classes that they can choose from. And these are going to be things kind of varying into the different sciences, different crafts and arts, a few different skills, and our adventure things. So they will be able to choose from things like Dungeons and Dragons, mountain biking, arts and crafts, pottery, photography, animation, and a lot more. Now, electives are kind of like one-off versions of a lot of these classes and a much bigger list overall. These are things that we will just kind of like rotate through each session, and the kids will get to sign up for like before they do them, whereas the classes are signed up for before they come to camp. So with the electives, we have again, wide range of things, kind of everything that they could possibly want outside of like going to a lake. So we have like things like hammock and chill. So if they want to just kind of hang out, listen to music, take a nap, they can do that. We have blacksmithing, welding, mountain biking. Those are always popular. They're always going to be going. 3D printing as well. And we have like some specialty things. We like to ask our staff like, hey, what are some things you like to do and what can you do with the campers? So we have had a wide range of things. One very popular thing over the past 2 years, one of the staff members loves Naruto, so created a Naruto ninja training program. Your kid will probably love it. We've had everything from like tall people, short people, how to be a cat. So we have a lot of random
how to be
things.
Australian.
Oh, Aussie, yes, I love that one.
Pondering Potter and Pie.
That's a Diana one. It's wonderful. You
Have
talk
one
and do all things Harry Potter and then eat pie afterwards.
Yeah, I know.
So we will do a wide range of things, and they're all going to be something that your child will be able to get engaged in, and it kind of just, again, falls into like whatever they're interested in.
So the important thing is the classes, the core activities, those are going to be selected beforehand. So we've been sending emails out, and this is really important that the camper is part of the decision making on their core class suggestions. We have had in the past where sometimes the parent might be like, mountain biking is super cool, but the camper's like, I don't want a mountain bike, or I don't know how to mountain bike. Yeah. And that can be really challenging. So we encourage parents and campers to have a really nice dialogue about what their interests are. And then we're going to put together a schedule for them, and then they'll be able to see that when they arrive. And then electives, they choose right on camp. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be similar for 1 week and 2 weeks. So in the 2 weeks, we have more classes, and they're able to be offered multiple times. Mm-hmm. So they're like building their skills a little bit more than we're capable of doing in the 1 week program. For example, the welding class will do like a full project that they will be able to walk away with at the end. Whereas in the 1 weeks or Geek Week program, they're going to be a little bit smaller projects that they're going to be doing. As you can see in the 2 week program, there is a lot of different evening events that we do. So we've got a casino night, we've got a talent, no talent, we've got Astroplex, we've got a carnival. So casino night and carnival are theme-based evening events, in which we will send out, this is part of our staff training, our counselors all get together, we spend all evening coming up with ideas and themes, and then we will send that out as soon as staff training is over. So the very beginning of June, we will send out what the themes are for our casino and carnival for the 2 week program. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of variety of activities. We have freestyle days, which is a little bit more relaxing time. We've been going hard in activities. We need some relaxing time. So we get really creative in our freestyle day. We have a Renaissance Festival, which also is a great one to bring any costumes that you might want. And then we have our final night, which is a little bit more of a nicer occasion where people will dress up. It is not, all of this is optional, but it kind of adds to the specialty of camp, right? Okay, Geek Week, very similar classes. They do 4 classes that meet 3 times during the activity. They get a little tidbit of a Renaissance Festival, and then we do our AstroCon, which is AstroCamp's version of Comic-Con, in our Geek Week session. I wanted to talk a little bit about Camp Chop. This is a new program that we're going to be offering during the Geek Week time frame. Mm-hmm. It is a separate program than Geek Week. So if you're a Geek Week camper, you will maybe have a Camp Chop camper in your group, or you might be able to do a few Camp Chop things during elective times. But the Camp Chop activities during the day, they'll be doing just with the Camp Chop kids. And then Geek Week will do those activities just with Geek Week. But as you can see, they have a similar of the evening events. So we all kind of come together in the evening for a really fun experience. There is only 14 spots in each session. We still have a few more spots. So if you know anybody that wants to learn how to cook, we got, you're learning knife skills, you're learning how to make pasta, making pizzas, making salsa, different sauces, tacos. It's the best. All right. How are we doing? Everybody doing good?
I believe so.
Okay. Let's talk about the dining hall. We get a lot of questions about food. So our dining hall, isn't it one of the most, the oldest one?
It is literally the oldest building in the entire town of Idlewild. How old? I couldn't tell you, but it is the oldest.
And it's just got a lot of charm. You can maybe see in the top corner over there, that's kind of the inside look of it. And then we have buffet style. So we will always have a warm option, we'll have tacos, and we'll have chicken nuggets, corn dogs,
macaroni, fries.
Got other things going on, and we've got some variety of other things that will be available. So there'll always be a salad bar,
fresh options. Wonderful.
Yeah, and there'll be some other alternatives that campers can have as well. We get a lot of questions about dietary restrictions. So allergies and dietary restrictions, you're going to have that information in your health history form, and that form is reviewed by our staff, the counselor, and the kitchen. So they'll be aware. So if you have any particular allergies, our kitchen staff will know. They'll have things labeled, and you'll know where to go to maybe get a gluten-free option or get a vegetarian option or a vegan option at camp. And we have a new company.
Yeah.
It's called Culinart that is managing our kitchen. They've been with us for the school year, and it's been a really wonderful transition. Yeah. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. So we've been getting a lot more variety in our meals. We've been having a lot more fresher options versus just prepackaged and deep fried options. So some of that will still be there because, some of the favorites like the nuggets and fries we can't get rid of. But we are providing a lot of tasty and healthier options so that not only the staff but the campers will all just feel better after we eat.
Yeah, absolutely. I encourage parents, if you have a picky eater, or campers, tell your parents to put this in. If you have a picky eater, please put that in the camper experience form. There is a question around that. That's really helpful for us to know, okay, we are not a big breakfast eaters. We do want kids to eat a balanced meal. We are incredibly active. We have to stay hydrated. We have to eat meals. So it might be different than how they eat at home, but we would like to know if this type of food is just a no-go, or we are more successful with, string cheese, things like that. That can be really helpful for us to prepare for your camper's arrival. Dorms and cabins. We have 5 different dormitories that we utilize at camp. So we have cedar and willow, and we have oak and pine, and then we have manzanita, which we sometimes use if we're needing to for
just extra space.
Extra space, yeah. As I mentioned, all the dormitories, they do have bunk beds, so you can kind of see a little bit of what that looks like here in the picture. And their bathrooms are attached in the dormitory. There'll be some, in a dormitory, there'll be one on one side and one on the other side. And we place cabins based on, we can do requests. So if you do put in a request, we do our best. There are some challenges if there's a larger age gap between, in which we'll reach out to you and explain our challenge with bunk requests. But if you don't get contacted, that's a good sign. That means that your campers will be able to be with their bunk requests. I get a lot of questions from families that this is their first time coming and maybe they're not coming with another person. We have a majority of our campers come that way, which is awesome. And we really are intentional, very thoughtful in our housing placements. So we do our very best to make sure that we're not putting a first-time camper, a camper that came without a friend or a sibling or such, in a group that all knows each other. We want to make sure that our groups are being really cohesive, and even if they do know each other or they don't, we want to make sure that we are really inclusive in the group, and the counselor is going to facilitate with that. But we play a lot of Tetris to make sure that all of that works out really well. Okay. Homesickness. Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's not funny.
It is a reality of summer camp, and we want to just normalize that. It is completely normal to go away to a place that you haven't been before, or maybe you've been before, but this year feels a little different to you. Homesickness is normal. It is normal to be uncomfortable in a new environment. We are going to do everything in our power to kind of help facilitate this. And it is common, but it is also temporary. Mm-hmm. And what I see homesickness the most is in the first 24 to 48 hours. When you're getting used to a new environment, first time going to bed without maybe having your parental person there. That can be challenging. But our staff are there to help and support. So we do a lot of training on this. And there's a lot of really fun tools and tips that you can use as to be able to support for parents. I encourage, there are times like printing out a photo of your family, or sometimes we get homesickness for our pets. Let's be real. And so like a printed photo of that and put that in your luggage. Parents will sometimes write notes that they can open, and we just encourage like very positive, uplifting, what are you doing today? I can't wait to hear sort of support. If it is serious and continues, we will reach out to families. So parents, if you're concerned that you might not be able to, you won't know, that's not how it goes. So I've got a team of staff that are there to support the staff, the campers, and then you as parents. Mm-hmm. And so we will contact you. We'll kind of give you the situation, what we're working on, and then a good plan and solution for moving forward. And we'll make sure that that is something you're aware of. All right. Who do campers ask for help? Josh, you want to jump in? I've been talking so much. Yeah.
So your campers have a multitude of people that can ask for help. Each cabin group made up of 8 to 10 campers will have their direct counselor that they can talk to about anything. If they do, when they're in their classes, some of them will be with their counselor, some of them won't. They'll be able to talk to the instructors as well. And the instructors may not be as well versed as the counselors in some of these matters. We will reach out to that counselor and kind of like help bridge that gap and help communicate that with them. We also have our camper support lead who will be there to basically make sure that all of your campers are happy and healthy and be there to support them if they have any issues or any questions or concerns about anything. We also have our 2 head counselors so that kind of every counselor has a point person that they can go to if something is above them or if they just need additional support with supporting your campers, and then of course you have Diana, who literally anybody and everybody could come to talk to. She's great at it. I've seen her talk with every single camper at camp during every single session. So just know anybody that your campers talk to, we will be able to help them.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a great team of people at camp, and so that they can ask for help. So maybe they're feeling a little uncomfortable asking their counselor. There is other people that are there for you. The counselor there, though, is the one that's going to have the most information. They're going to know their group. They're going to want to work with that group to make sure that they're having a really strong and fun camp experience. Because that's the goal, right? Yeah. We want to have fun. We're at summer camp.
Yes.
What if my child gets sick or hurt? So I know that there's always questions about medication. There's questions about just overall health and wellness at camp. So if you are new to AstroCamp, we have 1 registered nurse and 1 EMT that will be there at every session. Our EMT will be there the entire season, so he'll be very familiar with our program and all the kids coming through. Our nurses will rotate, but good news, we've got all returning nurses this summer. They are amazing, and so we have a really strong team of people that will be doing medications. So our registered nurse will be handling all medications. You'll be checking those in to the nurse when you arrive to camp. And then you'll pick them up. The nurse will then be delivering medications during breakfast, lunch, dinner, and bedtime. If there's any particular medication that requires like in the middle of our activities, we'll coordinate with that on a schedule. If we have our EMT. Medications should come in their original bottles, and that's for prescription or over the counter. We will communicate with any parents on any serious or consistent visiting to the nurses station. Again, that kind of aligns with homesickness. Anything that is serious or consistent, we're going to be communicating that with you as parents. So if you're not feeling good at camp and you know, what can commonly happen is we are in high elevation and we don't drink enough water. You need so much more water than you do if you live in this, like here in Orange County, San Clemente area. So you need to drink a lot more water. Hydrate or...
Dehydrate.
Yeah! That's our chant. You might need to visit the nurse, and the nurse will check in, and if there is any serious injuries, maybe we took a tumble on our mountain bike, that was a little bigger, we will call EMS. We have a wonderful fire department and emergency services in Idlewild that we're very familiar with and comfortable, and we're going to call them and get their consultation, and then we'll go from there, and we will absolutely be notifying the parent. Absolutely. Okay. How do parents and campers stay in touch? This is always an important one. So we know that you're going away, and you want to stay connected. There's a couple ways that we do that. We have an app. And I encourage everybody to go download this, all the parents. And this app, you're going to be getting push notifications. So you'll get any notifications on like what we're doing for travel, preparing for camp. I know Crystal sent out a few about forms, things like that. We'll also have photos. So if those, our photographers will be uploading every day photos of camp. There is a really cool feature in our app, which is a photo recognition. So you can do a training photo. It is only for this app. So it won't be sent to anywhere else. And it's not even downloadable by us at camp. But you will set up a training photo, and then it will tag you and it will show you any of these photos. And so you can see, I don't know if you can see here, but little Diana, which is the test subject, that is my face, has 41 photos from last summer. And so it will kind of give you the highlight reel on the top, and then you'll have the different days and the whole albums if you want to look at all of the pictures. And again, this is password protected. This is only for our parents. You will only see your kids in that session. The other way to write bunk notes is through the app as well. So you can do it on the browser or you can do it on the app. And how those bunk notes work, in the app, they're called letters. And you'll write one just like you're writing an email. You can select that you want a handwritten reply. That's very important if you want to get that response. You need to click that handwritten reply. And we will print them, give them to the campers during siesta time, and then they have an opportunity to write and then put it back, and we will fax that back to the app or your email. Kind of shows up in both the browser and the app. So I like to tell parents that no news is good news. And a lot of times they get so busy in siesta time of just like playing a game on the floor with their friends, or, you know, reading a book, or just kind of having some chill time, that they're not always able to write. And so no news is good news in the letters. We will always be sending the letters back. So as soon as we get them, and sometimes it can take some time. So we collect them in the afternoon. So a camper goes to bed, writes their note, puts them in the notebook, in the like mailbox notebook thing that we have. That won't get to you until the next day. So it does take some turnaround time before you might get them. You're always welcome to reach out, and me and my team are able to kind of give you an update if you're having any nerves or are nervous about anything. We don't do daily phone calls or anything like that at camp. It really, a part of camp is independence and getting that time. We feel like the bunk note and the photos are a really great way to connect. But if you need to speak to your camper, you can email or call us. So we have our number. You can give us a call and we'll be able to connect with you and answer any questions that you might have. We ask for no care packages. We're just not there long enough. And again, there's no food that you can bring into the dorms.
Please
they
don't.
have everything that they need. So we ask for no care packages while they're there at camp. If you need to mail an item, like say they forgot a bathing suit, which happens more often than you think, you can Amazon that to us. I ask that you please send me a note before you do that. All right. We are nearing the end here. Nearing the end. Our laundry service. So I mentioned on our 1 weeks and Geek weeks and Camp Chop, we will not have a laundry service. In our 2-week program, we will have a laundry service one time in the middle of the session. We have to send it off mountain to be done and then returned. It is a process. And so we really limit our campers on what they want to do. So I encourage them to not put all their laundry, but things that really need to be done. Underwear, socks, maybe a t-shirt or two, maybe a short and a pant. But one cabin group gets one large laundry bag to put together, so that they don't have a lot that they're able to put in because it's just such a process for us to get that completed. So you're allowed 2 bags in the 2 weeks. Bring the clothes that you need, and those little essentials that you need, you can definitely put at the end. So we have room requests. I kind of already talked about that. Bunk note requests, that's part of the process in the forms. And then we have our schedules, which we went through already. So that's it. Maybe we can pause for some Q&A. No? Okay. Okay. So if you have questions, we have our emails here. Diane at AstroCamp and Josh at AstroCamp. Our camp number and like my number here at the office that you are also welcome to reach out to at any time. So we want the transition to summer camp to be as smooth as possible. And so we ask that you please send us any emails, send us any questions, and we'll go through. Yeah, we'll get back to you. This will be one of many little things that we'll be sending you to remind you as you get closer to camp. But I hope you're getting excited.
I know we are.
We are so excited. We have a rock star team. I am very excited for our team that are going to be coming for this summer. We've got some amazing new staff, and we've got some strong, solid returners, and it's going to be a grand old time. So thank you so much. Josh, do you have anything else? Any closing?
Look forward to a wonderful experience this summer. Look forward to many stories from your campers for the weeks to come after they get back home. And please make sure that when you get the emails about submitting their class preferences, that you talk with your campers. Make sure that you are signing them up for things that they want to be able to be to participate in. And, you know, we're going to have a great time. They're going to be safe. It's going to be a wonderful, positive experience for everybody.
All right. Thank you so much.
We'll see
all right. Producer Patrick, I think we're done. Bye.